Game
I guess
changing.
we'll just
Nice.
I guess we'll just
Not as
talk
hard.
about them during the game, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I didn't even see the bands, but I guess we can just talk about picks. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So
So as we're getting into game now, we see Netherlands team has the Sylvanas, Sobek, Wukong, Hell, Hachiman, and Nemesis. Very, very tanky front line. Compared to Fuenla, as they're going to be called, opting out for the Jingwei, Cupid, Fuenla, of course, Vomana, Hebo, and Xingqian. Kazary, what you think about this lineup?
Well, first off, I just want to say that Sobek might very well win Netherlands the game if he is used correctly. Secondly, the Sun Wukong is also a very good pick. Like you said, tanky frontline. Sun Wukong can easily just dive them and all right back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, Hell is going to be trying to constantly keep the team up to full HP, and anti-heal is definitely going to be a priority on Fuenla's team here. On, but, but besides that, Jingwei's passive is quite literally a relic, so it's basically teleport cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how many times he dies, she's always going to have like a second chance to catch up on that farm. On top of that, Vamana, his ult is countered heavily by Sun Wukong. A lot of his kit is countered heavily by Sun Wukong, isn't it? Wouldn't you agree? He has knock-up immunity when he's in his ram stance.
Mm-hmm.
Herbois obviously is going to be wanting to get to that late game so that he can be one-shotting. Unfortunately, like you said, tanky frontline, that one shot might not be enough to deal with the frontline.
The thing is, what I think about Fuenia, so we're gonna call him Fu, okay? Fuenla, is that they have Hebo, who's a late game god, but Vomana, who's a mid game god. Now, Vomana, as we know, has very terrible performance late game. Terrible. I don't care what anybody says, as we see Hell getting super aggressive. Hell, one of the best level 1 mages in the game right now, has access to not even four abilities at level 2. Nemesis coming in might try to go on this red buff, as they do have the advantage. Hell, level 2, maybe he'll be hit level 3 on this wave. No, as Nemesis is going to leech off. Hold that thought as we have some aggression in the duel lane. Xingqian getting hungered. So big for some reason. Not following up. Those auto attacks from the Guardian early game can do a little bit of damage. As hang on, as the pluck comes out, but Cupid will easily just dash away. We see some more aggression in the jungle, as we see Netherlands trying to get aggressive on this red buff, but Hell just being able to poke him out. Hebo's going to be in trouble here. He needs to be careful. Does have that speed buff, so he will be safe. Hell using a little too much mana, trying to confirm this red buff, as Hebo will confirm the red buff with the knockup. Unfortunate for Netherlands, as the abilities just weren't used correctly.
Yeah, a good thing about Hell, right, is that she can take those sustained fights, where Hebo is actually wanting to not take those sustained fights and burst them out. But as I say that, he actually gets that Blink First Blood with a knock-up into the one, securing the Nemesis easily.
Not only securing the Nemesis, hold that thought, as Sobek tries to get a knockup of his health. We see the dash coming in from the Hachiman. Was going to be good. Silveris on the Hachiman puts his team back on the board, getting the kill on Xingqian. Xingqian, for some reason, didn't have his jump there. Might have used it to be aggressive, as Nemesis is really just doing a high mighty dry kill, trying to pick off Hebo. Does get the Hebo. The shell is popped. Jingwei with no dash. The revenge kill is good, and Shape It on this Hell will get the revenge kill off of Jingwei. Oh no, he's Shape It for life. Netherlands. I thought they just lost the game, but they just came back. Hebo being way too over aggressive after getting that kill with Jingwei, still trying to be aggressive. Hachiman with Maxim on piloting the Sobek, doing a great job getting all the plucks, which is what we like to see. Shape It needs to be careful here, but Jingwei can't hit an auto to save her life, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my god, yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's the Jingwei. I think it's the Hell being able to juke with that extra movement speed from her 3, but yeah.
That is true.
Honestly, it could be both.
That's very true. What I really what's kind of surprised me is that he's not scared to use his abilities, but he's not looking at his mana sustain. As we saw, he was struggling around that red buff because he kept just wailing out his abilities, not trying to really keep his mana pool sustained enough. We see Xingqiang trying to get a little more farm, 3-splitting camp. We gotta love those Guardians who want to 3-split a camp. So much XP, so much. Gold Fairy not spawned yet, so no team is really going to make a move for it yet. As we see here, teams are just trying to feel each other out. A couple kills in the lead. Hachiman with a little tiny bit of an XP lead and gold lead. Really negligible. Sobek missing that pluck might be detrimental. He is not level 5, but Hebo taking so much poke. Needs to be careful here as he's trapped with no mana. The blink from Nemesis is good. Slice it, Dice will pick it up, and Nemesis does get a kill on Hebo once again. Putting Hebo down into the ground. 0-2, Xingqiang forced to use the blink to get away from that skirmish.
This is actually really scary for Fuenla here. This Nemesis getting ahead of the Hebo is definitely going to be very detrimental in the late game fights, right? Hebo
there's a few guys. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but there's a few guys that I never want to see have kills. There's only a few guys. Kali, Nemesis, 2 assassins that I feel can personally 1v5 the entire team, especially Nemesis.
Oh no, definitely. Kali right now, honestly, I'm really confused as to why people don't play her more often. She's like one of the best late game gods in the game.
Unfortunately, as we see nowadays, games do last about 25 minutes, I'd say, is the mark. One team fight, the team just pushes straight down the mid lane. That's why we see so much oppression on the tier 1 towers in mid lane. So many teams have figured out that, hey, look at the dead timers, look at the damage with the abilities we have, because hunters are disgustingly crazy right now, doing so much damage. If we can get to the type, we can end the game right here and now. We don't really have those 30, 40-minute games as much anymore. And hold that thought, we see the blink on Nemesis. Ooh, I'm sorry, the blink from Hebo for mana does get the knockup off of Wukong. Wukong didn't have his ult. Unfortunately, must have been forced out during an earlier fight. Successful gank by the Hebo, trying to put himself back into the game. And as we do look at the level chart, Hebo, level 7, still has a level above this Nemesis, although she had 2 kills.
Definitely, that it shows. Oh wait, hold up. Ultimate from Xingqiang was very good, forcing out the ultimate from Sobek. Unfortunately, that didn't lead into much for either team, really. Just, you know, ultimates gone from both Guardians. Back to what we were talking about, the Hebo. Honestly, the Hebo Nemesis level differences just goes to show how much farm can make a difference in this game. Farming more effectively than your opponent could mean all the difference in your opponent getting around 80, even if they got 80 kills. If you're farming more effectively than them, they would still, you know, be behind you.
Hold that thought as Sobek just misses the pluck on a standing still Hebo. That just gotta break your heart when your Sobek just misses plucks. The only reason we picked you is for you to hit your plucks and you miss. Gotta break your heart. But as you were saying exactly, farming better than your opponent. As we see, Nemesis is just standing in mid on the sidelines, waiting to be aggressive, as Hebo is at least getting a back camp or a side lane camp while he's still farming and coming into these fights. We need to see Nemesis. We see this level lead is stagnant. It's going to keep going unless Nemesis can't shut down this Hebo, as he did get a successful gank on this Vamana. Hell in trouble here. Xingqiang hit him, them autos. She's a monster right now. Ult off the mark, but Shell was used from the Sobek. Once again, a blink was used, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Sobek is in the fray. Xing will end up losing her life. We see the ult coming out, the thunder wave smashing coming out from the Xingqiang. Hebo going in with crushing wave. Sobek coming in with under the water. Hachiman doing the rotation, coming in, kicking off Hebo, as it ends off with a 2-for-1.
Definitely, that rotation from Hachiman really just won them the fight right there.
Really did not expect so much aggression so early, as that's why I was casting so slow, but gonna have to turn it up a little bit. As Hebo does get taken out, Nemesis gets another kill. I would really love to see Nemesis invade on Hebo's camps as soon as they're up. Nemesis having that little more mobility than Hebo. The only thing he can do is really run away from her with his water carpet. I want to see a little bit more aggression. I don't want to see this Hebo with a level lead on the Nemesis. As we see, we haven't really talked about the solo lane much, as we just see as Vamana and Wukong slapping each other around. None of them should die unless a jungler makes a rotation.
Yeah, definitely. Like we saw that Hebo made a good rotation with the ultimate that was perfectly used right there, able to secure that kill on the Vamana earlier.
We'll hold that thought. The Hebo, the knockup was off the mark. Unfortunately, Nemesis and Hell off the wrong page, missing all of the healing that Hell was trying to provide her. But it didn't really result into anything.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, back to the solo lane. That matchup is, like you said, a very, very slap each other, get slapped kind of matchup.
Pretty much. But something I just found out here, looking at the items, Cupid seems to be okay. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of gold, so he needs to bag. But Cupid being an entire item and a half behind Hachiman, just because he wants to be greedy for wave, I highly really doubt this. Cupid is going to be so underpowered coming into this fight. He's going to try a move onto this Gold Fury. Unfortunately, the zone is coming out. Cupid does have his ult ready. The ult is coming out. It just gets used and it gets reset. Easily reset as the aggression comes on Cupid. Cupid is forced to dash out. Xing Chan trying to make a move. The blink is good. The Whirlwind of Terror is even better, but no follow-up. Hebo wasn't in position. Hebo's going to be here now, but it's far too late. His Guardian is not here to support him. Cupid is just standing there, not even making a single move. Sobek into the fray, getting a little too aggressive. Heart Bomb is even better as Hebo runs away for his life. The Wukong ult is coming out, but Hebo will be able to walk out of there. Gold Fury, uncontested. Almost confirmed, but heavily and healthy as it stands. But back to the point that I was trying to say. Being greedy for wave is good, but when you're under leveled, the only thing you can at least make sure is that you still have the same range of items. Cupid still being back an entire item, as in his boots, which is only not movement speed, but also 40 power. And in case he tries to go into those that attack speed boots, that's still 20 power and all the movement speed you want. That's not enough power. He won't be able to do. His ult could have been a lot more effective if he had that extra power online.
Definitely. I wouldn't put it past Cupid, though, to be confident in his abilities to outbox the Hachiman right now, even being an item and a half behind. Considering the fact that Cupid has a two-hitting ability, but so does Hachiman, although it's, considered his dash, so I wouldn't really put it past him to engage with it. Honestly, I really see Cupid winning more of the engagements, even though Hachiman is a level ahead of him.
I really do, but what I really want to see is Sobek actually hitting plucks. I'm tired of seeing this. This Sobek has missed 5 plucks, 5 free kills. Netherlands should be at least 12 to 4 kills at this point. But unfortunately, I have to disagree with you. I really feel like without those boots, Hachiman would just be able to trade ults, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
fair.
he would lose his ult, but if they were to fight without ult, no ult involved, Hachiman has that 100% of the time. And if Cupid even tries to get away because of the lack of movement speed, he'll really be in trouble. Unfortunately, lucky for him, Nemesis didn't really pay attention. She didn't have time to go over there and hit a gank on the Cupid, as that movement speed, even for the Nemesis slows, would have come in handy. As we do see, two ADCs differ. It looks like Hachiman is going to go into those kin size, if I do believe, as Cupid is going to go for the Atlantis bow. Hachiman is going to get that little spike of power, but Cupid will have the outboxing potential thanks to Atlantis' bow passive, granting him basically flawless movement speed. As the ult is really good. Sobek finally hits the pluck. The underwater is used just to get the slow on Xing Chan, and that'll be it. Xing Chan, the Guardian for Fuenla, is going to go down. We see a little bit more aggression. We see Hachiman into the fray. His ult is good. Shape It on the Hell will pick off Jing Wei in these fights. The fight is still going on. Hebo on the retreat, as is Cupid. As we have a 2 for nothing. Gold Fury will be the center of attention. Wukong has made the rotation, as well as Vamana. Vamana's ult, he needs a huge ult. Looking at his itemization here, I don't know if we're going to get that. Vamana, you got to go in. Vamana goes in, but Netherlands still confirms the Gold Fury, as his healing right now is not enough. Vamana going down, showing us that his ult is already ineffective in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. Regardless of the fact that Vamana is actually level 13, he was still bursted down by the Hachiman, the Hell, the Nemesis, and the Sobek, all just wailing on the poor guy.
And not only that, Cupid ends up falling as well. We see a stagnant lead coming from Netherlands. 2K gold lead, yes, but we have a much higher XP lead as we look at the lanes. Hachiman being 3 levels above the Jingwei, who is the mid laner. Cupid, 2 levels down. We see Jingwei trying to get aggressive. Really is going to lose this fight. If Hachiman dashes on her, she dies instantly. The dash is off the mark. This Jingwei does avoid it, and Hachi decides, okay, I missed my dash. I'm not going to be over aggressive. And Riz getting ganked by the Hebo.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's take a moment here to look at the builds. The Son Wukong has opted to go for the Soul Eater, which is, you know, a very good choice on his part. You can't go wrong with that. But what Vamana has actually opted to do is to go for the Talisman of Energy. Now, what is your opinion on that?
Okay, personally, I never use this item. I never picked it up. I couldn't care less about magical defense. Okay, listen, my motto is if you can dodge the ability, you're fine. Okay, it doesn't work all the time, but it does give you. It never does, but it does give you 300 health and 60 magical procs. Plus, it does give you a very great passive. Can we highlight the passive, please, before this fight starts? Getting a kill or an assist enemies cause you and your allies to gain a stack or energy stack, movement speed, and attack speed, which is really good for Vamana's kid and what he wants to do. Unfortunately, his team is neither getting any kills and he's not going to receive any assists. Yeah, I would have really loved for that item to be a sledge.
Exactly. On top of that, Vamana should really be looking to build protections to maximize the use of his passive.
As he really should. As we see, Wukong, on the other hand, did opt in to go for the sledge. So he's really going for that hybrid, lots of health build, okay? Not only that, his ult does stack off his power for his healing. So it's going to provide him just a little bit more healing as he is still farming up. But their comp is a lot more suited for these dive comps as they do have Nemesis and Sobek. Sobek Nemesis is going to easily be able to support the Wukong when he's going for the backline, along with the Hell, who can give him that little bit of CC immunity that he won't have. But as we look at Fuenla, they don't really have that much lockdown. They just have a lot of knockups and a cripple.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, sorry, what are we talking about here? Okay, we're talking about Fuenla, right. I think you're forgetting the fact that Xingqian is one of the most CC heavy gods in the game right now.
No, I am. But unfortunately, if you don't have anything to follow up on that CC right after, what do? At the same time, I'm not discrediting knockup. Hold that thought as we see the knockup coming out from Sobek, but Jingwei, perfect for this comp as she's able to dash out of it. Knockups are one of the best CCs in the game. Okay, you can't bees out of them. Once you're in the air for life. Okay, it takes like 2.5 seconds for you to finally come back down onto the ground. Sobek's still getting aggressive. You're taking a lot of damage from this Jingwei. The ult from Nemesis is good, and Jingwei disappears off the map. Hachiman getting aggressive, plucking Xingqian back into his team. Come back here, boy. But he still does get away as we see the Hell coming in with the healing for her team, providing that CC immunity as the tier 1 tower will be the objective as they want more. The Xingqian is still here. They have a full wave. Cupid has to walk through 4 blue jerseys, along with Hachiman's 2, which is going to provide his team with some movement speed. This tier 2 tower is down for the count.
Definitely, what they're looking to do right now is that tactic you were talking about earlier, where they just push down one lane and win the entire game, regardless of the towers that are still up.
Oh, hold that thought. Wukong getting the little aggressive on, but Wukong ult has to be the most frustrating thing to try to one of the most frustrating solo laners to gank is he just goes up on his somersault cloud and just stares at you, looks at you, laughs at you, maybe cracks open a beer and says have a good day.
It's like vibing on there.
Oh, that thought Xingqian getting aggressive on this. Hell can easily CC immune herself. Looks like it was down, not even needed. Tier 1 tower does get aggressed on and gets confirmed.
That's right. That Hell is going to be getting out of a lot in this game. She's going to be CC immunizing her entire team and herself, and obviously just getting it all back up.
Do you remember
what I really?
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Okay. Do you remember that? Do you remember the idea that we had from since season 1 to season 5? I'd say, if you have a Hell in your game, if she's not on your team, she needs to be 0-20. This Hell is 2-1. Oh, hold that thought. Vamana gets aggressed on once again. Nemesis all will be used, but unfortunately to no avail. The knockup is really good to stop the aggression off of Mana. But just to finish my point, a few guys in these games you never want to see late game, and Hell is one of them. Okay, healing, CC immunity, and damage. I don't think there's any other god in this game that has all those three in one single kit.
Exactly.
The god is disgusting and needs to be shut down early. We do see the Lotus Crown does get picked up as Jingwei just got soloed by the Hachiman when she's 4 levels down. And Cupid is waiting for his turn. It's going to be Cupid's turn. Unfortunately, the Radiant Shield off the mark. Cupid taking a ton of damage, but the Heart Bomb is good. And both of them are getting made. We see a 1v2 starting. The support is here to back it up. Xing Chan here will be used, but to no avail. The Lotus Crown does get used, giving a little bit of healing, but Hebo's damage will not be stopped, as he does have his Doom Orb with his Typhon's Fang already bought, going into a little more penetration, as the tier 2 tower on the solo side will get picked off by Nemesis and Wukong. Wukong, if his teleport is up, he will be able to teleport, but he did not opt in for it. But the aggression from Fuenla just stopped. Hell is just getting baited.
Really risky play from Hell right here.
Hold on, she's juking. She has the juke boots on. Unfortunately, her heal was just not enough. Hell does get picked off for being a little too over. She's not really trespassing. It is her jungle after all. But a tier 2 tower will get responded. Fuenla doing what they have to do, getting the stuff after the stuff, as your boy F-Dot once said. And end up getting a tier 2 tower and a kill. Like I said, I wanted to see this Hell in the ground, and that's exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I'm really confused as to why the Hell decided that would be a good idea, right? She knew there were 3 people in that lane. She knew they were aggressing on the tower. Obviously it was her own jungle, so, you know, she might have felt a full sense of security, but that Hebo is just going to be everywhere. His carpet is going to be really helpful late game.
It really is, but you know what surprises me even more is our solo laner for Mana going into the Hasten Katana, followed by the Toxic Blade. Now, as the job of a tank, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's to be tanky. Am I right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To be tanky and to be able to out-sustain your opponent. As we saw at the fight at the 13-minute mark, Vamana got completely obliterated, melted in 2 seconds. Hachiman now has his Kins and Aladdin's bow online. Okay, and he has Odysseus' bow. Okay, attack speed, penetration, everywhere. Okay. Nemesis has finally finished her brawlers. Easily going to be able to apply brawlers to the Vamana. Vamana is in trouble. I really don't see Vamana lasting in these fights at all whatsoever. Unless Hebo gets a 5-man crushing wave that ends the game.
I'm really waiting for that one, man. Come on, Reload. Get that 5-man out. We believe in you.
Oh, I hope so. Well, as we look at this is going to be foolish chance right here. Jingwei is going to be here. Wukong rotated in to stop the split pushing aggression. They need to be careful here, but nothing was done. Netherlands on the engage right now. Xing Chan really low, but unfortunately Slovik was called back, being a little too aggressive. Needed to come back to his team and see what they can do, as Vamana has something else in mind. Wanted to go into the fray. He's slowed. He's in his ult form, and he'll just walk away. This is exactly what I was saying. Your ult is going to be used to run away, not actually engage for your team.
He just walks away, you know what I mean?
He just walked away, and as I'm seeing right now, Vamana is the only person that actually built anti-heal versus a health.
Yeah, that was what I was actually wanting to talk about. That decision to not get anti-heal versus the most heal-focused character in the entire game is very interesting.
And not only that, you know who just got picked off? Vamana. Hold that thought. Phoenix does get a split push by the duo ADC squad, as a tier 2 tower is next on the list. Very good play, very good answer back from Fuenla, but they need to survive this fight if they want any chance of winning. Hebo is in trouble, needs to get out, but if he can trade his life out to get this health, they will be in a great position. But Wukong wants some Hebo crocodile dinner for breakfast. And Wukong will get taken out. I'm sorry, Wukong will take out Fuenla's jungler. But as I was
Definitely.
saying, what did I say? Kazary, what did I say? You get enough picks, you charge down mid lane, take out the tier 2, take out the middle Phoenix, and then you walk into the base. 7 seconds on Vamana, 5 seconds on Xingqian. This is very incredibly risky right now. Xingqian with the slice and move will be able to move all of them off of that Titan, as we do see the washboard picking Sobek off. 5 red jerseys running down. Hell is in trouble. The Hasten Fatalis finally making a scene. Xingqian with the triple kill supports for the win. And this is
This is bad.
Fuenla's
This
game
is
to win
bad
right now.
for-
If they charge down mid, go onto the side, this is game. 30 seconds on the respawn timers. This is game. Fuenla just wins off of Netherlands. I don't even know if I should call it a mistake. That was way too aggressive. There was no way that they were going to win that. No way. They need to just leave this Phoenix alone, charge straight down mid, and end the game. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have 2 ADCs, and this is the power of ADC that we were talking about. 3 seconds on Sobek Maxime. Titan already at 40%, 30%, 20%. 5 red jerseys on Sobek. You can try all you want. You won't get all of them off of you. As Sobek loses his life, Fuenla, after being on the back foot the entire game, just wins off of 1 team fight and too much aggression from Netherlands.
That was a very risky play, like you said, on Netherlands' part. Obviously, what they could have done is gone for the 2 lanes on both sides, got rid of that tankiness for the Titan. Maybe that would have got them in the end.
That I don't know who called out the play, who was the shot caller in that fight, but that was the worst decision making I've ever seen. 5 seconds on not only Vamana but Xingqian. Xingqian easily able to move everybody away from his Titan. Why would you try to engage on that?
Honestly, good question. Unfortunately, that's what lost them the game at that point.
Unfortunately, the win does go to Fuenla. Well deserved, as Fuenla actually showed us what we were supposed to do, in that time frame.
Definitely. Honestly, I don't think it's unfortunate. I think that Xingqian play honestly won them that game.
All right. Well, thank you. That was game 1, please. Thank you for enjoying. We'll be right back with game 2 after these messages. Remember, stay smitastic.
You got scars deep enough to last. Heart full of broken glass, and I'm gonna paint it black. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've missed me, and we're back with game 2. Netherlands versus Fuenla. Still having a name that I can barely pronounce.
Hold on, this is the World
Anyway,
Cup. Let me look up Vulpis. Hold on.
World Cup. Going into this game, do we want to see anything from previous game that was banned?
That's a good question. I'm honestly looking for that Hebo to be banned and the
Okay.
Chen probably.
You're wrong. Let me tell you who needs to be banned. Okay, let me tell you.
All right.
Whoever made that call to go for Titan needs to be banned, and they win. Okay. Netherlands bans whoever made that call, as Ra will be the first ban on the Netherlands side. I'm sorry, on Funla's side. Shape It apparently has been practicing his Ra lately. Finally, it's about time. Persephone, a band that I love to see and get that disgustingly overpowered god out of the game. Nobody wants to see it. Yamoja, again, disgustingly overpowered, can push a wave by herself from level 1. Even Hades can't do that. Okay, get her out. We don't want to see it.
Can spam abilities every 2 seconds. That's also something.
And can spam ability. Literally can double stun you, and you wouldn't even know what happened to you. But we're not.
If you had full mana regeneration, could literally stun lock you for 4 seconds.
Another god that I love to see ban, Morrigan. Her ult, like I've always said, I'm tired of stealths. No more stealths in the game, please. Morrigan ult transform into any god on the map. Okay, you've worked hard to get this overpowered comp, and what does Morrigan do? Hey guys, I'm gonna borrow your comp. Okay, thank you so much. Tsukuyomi, your new god. Still a lot of kings that needs to work out, but very powerful, especially in these team fights. Very hard to lock down as soon as he gets into his ult stance. And if you can control where you're going to land on your final hit, hopefully next to your team, you can be safe. As Cthulhu will be the first to get locked in. I'm so sad we're not going to see Cthulhu. Was really hoping for that. Hold that thought. Nemesis does get banned out. So perfect. That was the perfect spot for Cthulhu as the main ADC of this generation. Rama, since season 2, we've been saying that he's OP. Gets picked up as first pick along with Erlang Shen. A lot of hype on Erlang Shen. What do you think about Erlang Shen?
Erlang Shen is a weird character. I honestly don't know what I think of him. He's just an okay character in my books. I've never seen him stomp. I've never seen him get stomped. He's just one of those characters to me, you know?
Honestly, I think the only person that really makes this character look overpowered is Charia. That's because he has a team built around him for that occasion. As we do see the Cupid and the Ama does get picked up. Matchup versus Cupid and Rama, who do you give it to?
Honestly, I give it to the Rama. That Rama's ult counters Cupid's ult. His dash also cripples Cupid, gets rid of that dash for a good like one second, I think it is. Mm-hmm. He has that obviously giant attack speed buff. He has the slow. There's just so much that Rama has that Cupid doesn't have that would just win Rama these fights.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I'm going to counter that with my own theory. I feel that the matchup is very equal, and whoever gets the lead first wins. But I think I give it to Cupid a little more. Why? Only due to the fact that thanks to Cupid's ult, he gets a free hard bomb. That's it. A free hard bomb, 2 autos at max, and Rama gets into the air. And if he can't return that damage, it immediately goes into Cupid's favor.
That is true. You make a good point.
Hold that thought. We see Wukong does get picked up for Fuenla. There's Achilles on the other side for Netherlands. Interesting. Achilles, not a god that I would say is really on the top of the tier right now, as we see with Wukong. Hold that thought. Is this going to be a jungle Wukong? No.
Please.
No. Okay. I've erased the jungle Wukong from. Is this jungle Cthulhu? Jungle Cthulhu. Listen, hold on. Listen to me. Listen to me, right? Listen to this, right? You
Yeah,
walk in already in ult. You walk in, you ult from jungle, and you're raining down knockups. Okay, okay. Then you get out of ult, right? You cancel your ult, and you land with the root. They're dead. Actually, hang on. I have an even bigger question.
Yeah,
No, hang
go
on.
on.
If I build full damage on Cthulhu, how much does my ult hit for?
I believe your server would hit for around 450
Oh
per,
my
you know,
god,
server.
listen. An ADC has what, 2,000 health end game? Listen. Listen. Okay.
The only
After the second
difference
phase of
is
banning, I'm sorry, we didn't speak. Second phase banning really focused on the mid laners. That Hell had to go. We do not want to see Shaped on the Hell, and I agree, as well as Thought. Thought, very long range mage, can hit you from miles away, and you don't even know or understand why he can hit you. Makes no sense. Followed by the Agni and Hera ban. Okay, Agni, your typical, very balanced mid laner. Okay, has everything: stun, damage, escape, the perfect god. If you're a mid laner and you don't have an Agni in your god pool, you need to change roles. Followed by Hera. Hera, very, very insanely strong. I don't know why Isis was picked up instead of Hera. You know, I really feel that they could have kept the Hera inside. And if she eventually got picked, then they can pick Isis. But we haven't seen much from Isis. But Isis did receive a buff very recently.
recently, yeah.
I do believe it was on her Wing Gust,
Yeah,
giving
it
her a
was
little more damage.
Yeah, it was like a 10 damage buff, I believe.
Yeah, 10 damage buff on Eve's Wingus, followed up basically like a 40 to 50 damage increase, which can potentially one-shot minions at level 1. And the pick that I really
Yeah.
love to see, Ganesh. Ganesh, one of the most hard to play supports. I'd say his silence being the best ability, one of the best abilities in the game. As I love to see.
Definitely. On top of that, it gives you that extra, you know, protections next to your teammate. Next to your teammates.
Not only that, gonna be the perfect person to pair up with this. Isis is going to be able to keep her safe and alive, as Isis has no way of retreating if she gets engaged on. So as we look into the games, our teams are getting set up. It looks like it will be a Cthulhu support. For Fuenla, it's gonna be Cthulhu support. Falcono piloting. That is gonna be P4B Luke, your solo laner on the Wukong. Rulat 11 on the Hunbass as your juggler. Isotos, we salute you on the Merlin for your mid laner. And Mojo Wumpa as Cupid ADC. Followed by Netherlands side, we have IM4 on the Achilles. Lorwis on the Erlong. Shaped on the Isis, which I'm expecting great things. I want to see it first, but Maxim on the Ganesh and Silverus on this Rama.
Isis is a weird god. Honestly, her stun is has really weird interactions with range, with you know, damage, with detonating it early. Honestly, it's a really weird ability in my opinion. It's easy to juke on PC, but on console, as some of you may know that I did switch from console, it's a very funny ability.
I feel like, you know what's funny is all of these gods at a certain point in time that they picked had an era where they dominated. Okay, Achilles dominated, especially a warrior having an execute broken. Erlong, when people finally started to figure him out, figure that he's not a solo laner but a jungler. Chariot brings him into the jungle and literally carries. Isis, Isis's record speaks for itself. Literally one of the most broken mid laners to come out, would get first blood in a blink of an eye. Ganesh, that god is still broken to this day, but we're not going to talk about that. As the dual laner will walk into lane, it'll be Ganesh and Rama versus Cthulhu and Cupid. Ganesh taking so much damage, standing in front of the wave as Cthulhu is pounding damage. If Cupid would just walk forward and land one more hard bomb on him, Ganesh would just go down for the count. Hard bomb does get hit on Rama, who's the even more important target. So much damage, the shell gets popped, and Rama forced to retreat. He needs to be careful. The root coming out of Cthulhu. Cupid, if he has anything. But Cupid did not have his dash. Cthulhu only level 2. Cupid does get his dash. I'm expecting a dash in hard bomb. Am I going to get it?
Probably
No dash
not.
in hard bomb. maybe scared of the Ganesh actually counter engaging onto him, catching his dash with his own, which would really be a a high level play. Okay, catching Cupid dash while it's being fed up. You need to be careful here. The shove is good from Erlong. The beads will get popped out from Merlin. Unbats will get away as he does have his jump. Merlin, level 3, having additional ability, will give out some damage. As we see, the action is really in the dual lane right now. Ganesha and Rama so far struggling against this Cupid Cthulhu combo. Cthulhu, surprising, giving a lot of pressure. A lot more than Ganesh, definitely. We'll have to be careful here. As we look into the jungle, you see one kill for Isis, but Isis finishing it off. Isis with the double kill. Getting revenge for her jungler. Not only that, but killing her oppositional mid laner. Are you surprised with that fight?
Not exactly, no. Early game Isis is definitely really strong. Mid game Isis is very strong. And late game Isis is mildly strong. She's still strong. She's definitely going to bring some kind of impact to late game, especially with that big ult at the end.
Yeah, do you know how much Isis ult does late game? Fun fact. Listen, fun fact. As a tank who had double protection, okay, I personally took 1,100 damage as a tank, okay, fully charged, okay? Sure, it was a bad idea to stand in the circle, but you know, I was feeling myself, okay? I was feeling myself, okay? Too much damage, okay? That all potentially just literally 100 to zeros a squishy. No pun intended. Hold that thought, as we do see the Ganesh counterpart that I did mention a little earlier. A little slower than I thought. He didn't really expect, but Cupid Hardbomb was off the mark. So Netherlands getting off of that little slight engage with no problem. I really want to see Isis take this little lead that she's established against this Merlin and go return to base and actually buy some items, you know, get them online, you know. What's the point of having go hold that thought? Erlong is here for the gank, but unfortunately he just stops mid-center instead of dashing in, at least getting some engage. For some reason, Cupid and Cthulhu are just mind-blowingly unaware. Rotation.
Honestly, I think that little back off from there honestly showed that they were kind of aware, but like I think they knew something was coming, but they didn't have any kind of wards because of the way Ganesha and Rama were acting.
The thing is, both of them do have long dashes as well. Cthulhu's dash being a little slower, so able to interrupt it, but I can understand what you're saying. I still feel that he should have at least shown presence, get some beads. I don't know. I felt like he was scared to go in without by himself.
Fun fact, if I'm not mistaken, hitting both parts of Cthulhu's dash is actually the most damaging, well, one of the most damaging Guardian abilities that's not an ult.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hold that thought, because I feel like Cthulhu's going to feel himself in solo Rama right here. Yeah, he is. He is. Rama's dead.
Man's aggressive.
I'm not even surprised by this. Rama's dead. The knockup is going to come in. The knockup is off the mark. Isis all comes in with the heal. Oh my lord.
Holy Christ, what happened to the Cthulhu? That's like one of the gods known for not getting annihilated.
Cthulhu, known for getting blown up by Isis in 2 seconds. Okay. Isis showing us why she's powerful. Hold that thought. We did see aggression. Achilles does pick off the Sun Wukong with a little bit of help from his team. We see the Fear No Evil getting used, but Hunbat's using his ult to confirm a blue buff that he doesn't even get. We see some more aggression. Merlin, you're standing in a place where you should not be. Unfortunately, your damage is good. I'm sorry. The hit from Hunbat's is better as he blinks in and does pick up the kill. Erlong needs to be careful here. Achilles will get picked off as well. Cthulhu with the rotation. After Isis does such a great rotation, her team just follows up, but unfortunately they get engaged on.
Combat blinks are fun, quote unquote.
Hold that thought. Why did Isis get cooldown boots? What do you make of this? Cooldown boots.
Honestly, cooldown boots are kind of my favorite. Like, honestly, building cooldown on every single god in the game is one of my favorite things to do. Having your abilities up every like 3 seconds is just my favorite thing, if that's mine. So
You-
honestly, I approve of these cooldown boots.
You know, I would agree with you if Isis didn't have 3 kills. What I've noticed, especially, is I love cooldown as well, but because every mage item gives you cooldown, why not get the 20 power early? Especially with Wingus.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, we just had
as
a
our
little...
fantastic camera.
Just pointed
As
out,
our-
her passive also gives her an extra 10% cooldown, so she's got the
You know,
10%
honestly-
cooldown from Mage's Blessing and Boots and her passive.
You know, surprisingly enough, it shows that I obviously haven't read up on passives in a while. Last time I remember, Isis passive gave you HP 5. So
Yeah,
obviously,
that's what I was remembering too. I always used to think it's kind of useless, but apparently not.
it's not like I've been playing this game for literally 7 years, right? No, not at all. But you know what, guys? The 10% cooldown, actually, because of the news, because of that passive, hold that thought. We have a gigantic fight. Cthulhu actually going down under tier 2 tower, not getting this last hit. We see some more aggression in the mid lane as Isis on this shape gets targeted out. Hunbaz will pick off the kill, but Lazy backs in the middle of the wave. Achilles tries to get some aggression, but Fear No Evil will be better. The silence from Cthulhu is up, but Achilles not getting into the execute range potentially could have got a 4-man execute if he did play his abilities right. We saw Cupid and Rama had a little bit of skirmish in the duo lane. Cupid told him, I didn't really enjoy you taking my cookies last night. Okay, you know, love my cookies. You know, I'm a Cupid. You know, I'm a little baby, but you know. So we will see the end of the gauge of that as we see both of them are pretty much even. Cupid having a couple more stacks and being a little more topped off than the Rama does have a slight XP lead as Rama can't really heal himself besides Devour's Gauntlets as he does hit level 9 as well. Opting out to return to base when there's a full wave in front of him and nobody in sight. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Back to that Isis passive. Actually, it's only when she's had 10 deaths in an 80 unit radius that she gets a 10% CDR. So she's like a stacking god in League if any of you played that before.
Okay, so because she doesn't have the cooldown as of yet, I feel that she should have gotten lifesteal boots. Which
What's
gives you
also
20...
interesting, she's going for the Doom Orb.
Going for the Doom War. Now, Doom War giving you a lot of power, but on Isis. As we see, killing enemies and everything. Like, if she had that Doom Orb online before she got those kills, massive impact. As of right now, right after she got shut down, I don't know. As we see, there are finally utilizing Isis. All used defensively and wasted. Chip it off the mark. Cthulhu getting a little bit aggressive. We see Netherlands doesn't really have any ults to take down Cthulhu. Merlin will help Cthulhu in taking down Erlong. We see some aggression coming down on this Isis. This Isis getting pummeled by this Cthulhu. Hunbats with the support coming in, putting Isis back into the grave. Wukong does make the rotation, being a big bully to this Ganesh, making him pay for his transgressions. But we're gonna need him to follow back and come back down to his team. Fuenla is in a bit of trouble as Rama is forced to go up into the air. 1 snipe, 2 snipe, I got you with the 3rd snipe, but you still lose your life. Cthulhu does end up going down, but Rama, Silvera is piling that, will get the revenge kill onto him, so he won't go down without a fight.
Yeah,
You see the fight
definitely.
is
That
still going on.
Rama made a
Wukong is
good
still here.
choice.
Good choice. The shell did get popped early. Merlin's in, so the Fear No Evil did get popped. Hunbass is in trouble here, but Achilles is on 1 HP. He does get picked off by the Merlin, but Erlon does pick off. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Erlon does get picked off at the end by the Cupid. Unfortunately, if you saw that interact, hold that thought and shape it. Almost made the play on the Sun Wukong solo laner. Unfortunately, her ult was a little bit off the mark. The damage did not go through. Slight misplay from Shape It.
Unfortunate, really. That ultimate really definitely would have killed him right there, since it does
It would have definitely
300?
killed him as he doesn't have any magical defense at all whatsoever. Not only that, Gold Fury standing up after all of those fights.
Definitely, yeah.
One question for coming for Isis passive. Does it have to be kills that have happened in front of her where she's in the rage to get the assist?
Yeah,
That's
in
kill or
in
assist
range
in
of
front
8
her.
units.
So does she have to be in range? So do I need to have, like, let's say 3 kills and 7 assists for me to get that 10% cooldown?
Yeah.
That is a terrible passive.
Yes.
Give me back the HP 5.
It gives you the HP 5 and MP 5. It gives you 20 actually at max stacks. So
Give
combine
it
with like a
back
god
to-
like Xintian.
Hold
She's
that
actually
thought as Rama got Cupid down. Okay, unfortunately we did not get to see that fight, but both ults used, so as we can say, Rama finished off that kill with the snipes. Cthulhu trying to make a mark, trying to get revenge for his ADC, but Cthulhu, which is why we don't really see Cthulhu into the support role, is because Cthulhu needs that level lead and the items online to be a threat. Cthulhu being level 9 going into his ult 12 minutes into the game is not threatening whatsoever.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. Cthulhu is a strong god only with that level lead, right? There are some gods, you could arguably say that for every god in the game, but there's no god that, utilizes that level lead much like Cthulhu does.
Hold that thought. Wukong solos Achilles in the jungle. Does have a slight item lead, but do not expect Achilles to get soloed that easily. Both of them do have their soul leader. Achilles actually having his... Wukong does having his soul leader a little bit stacked faster than Achilles, but I guess a little bit of power came to haunt them.
Definitely.
Wukong having, I'd say, the counter to Achilles' ult, even if you channel both abilities at the same time, Wukong will go into the air before Achilles can get his execute off. More aggression as Hunbat just walks into their jungle, easily gets
What
rid of
happened to
Lorwith.
that Erlang? Jesus.
He disappeared, as I'm pretty sure with all the abilities that Humbatsu's from his passive, getting that extra bit of damage. Rama in trouble here, needs to fall back. IM4 on the Achilles, trying to get some kills back for his team as he gets a double kill, picking out both Cthulhu and Isotos on this, as we do see Merlin does get picked off as well. Cupid will pick off the Ganesh, making it a 3 for 2, late 2. The cripple from Rama does end up hitting Cupid as he's just gonna get picked off. Achilles is right there. Rama, what did you do? All you had to do was walk away. As Achilles gets picked up, as Cupid from the jaws of death pick off Rama.
Definitely. Choice to stay behind in that fight.
But that was heartbreaking to watch. That was heartbreaking to watch Rama still trying to be over aggressive. Just let your solo laner take the kill and walk away. Just walk away. Just walk away.
Arguably, that Achilles could have stunned the Cupid, but I don't think he kept that up.
No. What was the point of? What was the point of just staying there and potentially dying if he gets a hard bomb on you? There's no point. Achilles had ult, maybe abilities on cooldown, but he had his ult. Cupid did not have his dash. There was no way Cupid was getting out of that position. No way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could have really been a negated debt, I'd say. Let's see right now, both hunters going into the same type of build as we do see Devours into attack speed move into Ichigo.
Literally the exact same build.
As we see Hunbat's getting aggressive again. Rama into the air, 1-2, buckle my shoe. Shape it. We'll pick off the Hunbat for his over aggression. Rama will aid into the kills with his bow and arrow from afar. As one thing I've never mentioned is that I love how Rama's ult has evolved throughout the time since his release. Never have we seen Rama's ult used to not only engage on fights, but as well as confirm kills. As for some reason I just saw Erlong forfeit his life for a tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
a tier 1
I
tower that he
was
doesn't get.
I was really confused right now. I was watching that and it was just like a bunch of question marks just appeared. It's like, wait, what? Hang on.
I'm sensing a little bit of tilt from Lorwis. That play was insanely risky. I don't know why somebody would do that in their right mind. Netherlands maybe not in the right state of mind after that crushing loss. As
Oh.
Isis just gets baited in. The heart bomb is not good, but she's one auto attack away from dying. One auto attack, Cupid, as her ult does get popped for a little bit. Rama coming in with the snipes, ready to carry his team. Rama getting 1 kill. Netherlands may be back. Lore was getting a kill on Isotos, but unfortunately, Achilles was on the menu for Fuenla. As a solo laner for your ADC and mid laner, not worth at all whatsoever. I'll kill off my solo laner any day of the week. As we'll see, Pyromancer does get here. Unbats will be able to solo Pyromancer on his own as his team can defend Netherlands from doing the Gold Fury.
Yeah, definitely that little play right there. We've had a little comment saying he actually wasn't tilted, but his brain had a little bit of a delay right there.
Unfortunately, he didn't understand that a tier 1 tower giving you 50 gold is just not worth your time.
Definitely, yeah.
As we do see, Netherlands does pick off the Gold Fury as Cthulhu was by himself standing in front of it. And as we look at his itemization, Cthulhu opting in for the Mantle of Discord this early onto the game. 2,900 gold does give you 60 procs for each physical and defense with some cooldown, but still 2,900 gold at this point in the game is a lot of gold for one item that's not going to give you enough if you don't have the health for it. Does have his thieves stacked up, but we would really love to see a Stone of Gaia finished off, not only for the passive, as they only really have 1 knockup, 2 if you count Erlong in his turtle form. But
Which,
you want that
honestly,
little bit of HP regain. The massive amount of HP that Cthulhu gains from both having Stone of Gaia and HP based items is insane. Not only that, but just the sustain coming from Stone of Gaia that Cthulhu does it is. I'm sorry that my brain actually just get a fart just like Warwick, because when I see games like that, I don't know what to say. As we see Hunbats in fear for his life, a shell was used for nothing, had nothing. It was used for nothing. It was used for show. We see a lot of damage coming in. Lorwis almost getting picked off. Does get picked off by the Cthulhu. Cthulhu trying to rain down the thunder, level 14 right now. Big boy, shape it, will get picked off by the Cthulhu. This is why this god is insanely broken. There's 2 kills. Gets popped off. Rama thinking he's a big boy. Goes on the Wukong. Does have Ganesh to help him. Achilles is on the way. He's on the hunt. Will we see them split up? Split apart. Stop him from being a run away. Wukong does the smart play and comes down exactly where he went up. And just Ox dances away. Ganesh is going to be there. The blink is even better. And Wukong is out. Wukong just looking at your face telling you that I'm a bird. If I get away from you, you're never going to see me again. Okay?
I'm a
Goodbye.
bird.
I'm an Ox as well. I'm an Ox now. As he does manage to get the red buff, I presume? He did. Hunbats, picking off Rama for some reason. Ganesh coming in, using his ult to no avail. Hunbats with this constant lazy back, showing the disrespect for the team. As Achilles tries to chase down the kill, but to no avail. Hunbats will try to protect his buff as he even gets the buff. Is there anything this monkey can do?
Go full auto attack. Actually, wait, that's a good point.
Hey, hold that thought, as we have the double monkey squad. Achilles, the third is already popped. He's trying to get the damage done. They execute, almost connected with the Hunbats, but the kill will be confirmed before that execute can be popped off. All this fighting, very interesting, came up to a 3,000 gold lead, more or less.
Definitely, it's
Although
not a lead large enough
has-
to, warrant a surrender, but
But Netherlands has only 2 tier 2 towers left. Fuenla has 4 towers. Netherlands can easily fix this gold lead.
cancel that, they have 3,000 now.
Cancel that. They have 3 towers now exactly. The Netherlands already started to chip off the speed that Fuenla has tried to give them. Really like what I see from this from Cthulhu now. Ooh, nice dodge from the Spirit Ball by ISIS. The 2 tanks trying to get aggressive, but Hunbass is here with the Fear No Evil. Pop wasn't lasting long enough, and Hunbat able to completely annihilate Shaped on this ISIS in 2 seconds. I would really love to see Shaped get a breastplate or something, because he just can't stand these fights. Aggressiveness on this Wukong, but all Wukong has to do is click 4, go on his somersault cloud, and come back down to earth.
Definitely.
Hey, look at that. You thought that Wukong was just doing nothing? Or trolling, as you say? No. Wukong was distracting, okay?
It was me.
Yes, guys.
What do you think?
Focus on me so that my team can get Fire Giant. Yeah. Not only that, I'm pushing your wave as Rama is just pushing. He needs to keep going. I do not want to see this Rama back under no circumstances. Rama needs to keep going. The team should have stopped the Merlin from backing. They do not have this information. As we can see, we have the bird's eye view. Cthulhu once again being aggressive, trying to get these picks off the carries. Rama needs to fully commit to this Phoenix if he's going to do it. But Merlin, as we know, is a very good god to defend, one of the most obnoxious gods to defend against. He is literally AMC as a turret, but in mage form, okay? He's a flamethrower as a home defense. You can't do anything against him, okay? But Rama being 2 levels above and being, you know, an overpowered ADC, okay, can 2-shot you in 2 seconds. As we see the aggression coming on Cupid, we see Erlon popping the taunt. Cupid, the front and center, gets taken out. Achilles does pop the thorns to try to help with the damage. Erlon doesn't have really any items for him to keep up the chase on this Cthulhu. Cthulhu's so tanky right now. Rama in a bit of trouble, has no mana to his name, goes up into the air, forget the snipes off. 1, 2, solid with the snipe. 3, not enough, does dash out, but Hunbass will be able to get the kill on Rama. The fight is still going on. Wukong is going to be the next one on the menu. Ganesh here with the silence, the stun, stays in one place. Merlin coming in with the icicles of death to try to stop his soul laner from taking a plunge. Merlin will pick off Maxim on the Ganesh. The Fear No Evil with the body block. 3 man telling you you're going to sit down. Achilles gets taken down by the Hunbat, and we see a straight line for the left side Fury. Phoenix. They're both birds.
Now, honestly, what I'm thinking Fuenla should do is just push the Phoenix and just, you know, get the fight. That's what they should do.
Get
they
out.
have
No,
the
get out.
idea.
See, this is what I like to see. Fuenla not making the same mistake as Netherlands, okay? Although they had more time, they still decided, hey, listen, we don't have our ADC. Let's get out of here. Hey, Cupid, Gold Fury is up. Get your buff and go do Gold Fury. Not only is it a Gold Fury, it's an Oni Gold Fury, okay? Let's get us some minions down. We're going to also get Pyromancer, taking out all of the objectives on the map, securing our lead, okay? And with this, they're going to have basically a 10k gold lead. As Cupid doesn't finish the Gold Fury in time, gets annihilated by an Isis Spirit Ball, and Netherlands do confirm the Gold Fury. Why am I not surprised? Cupid not doing his due diligence.
Definitely. This, honestly, these builds right now, the Cupid has opted to go for that Mantle of Discord to actually, you know, help him survive in these fights. What do you think about that?
I kind of like it, honestly, because Erlon will be trying to aggress on top of him along with Achilles, but I still don't see why a Cupid would need it, as he's able to top himself off with his hearts to heal himself, as well as he has a Cthulhu and a Wukong. I'm guessing it's because Cthulhu and Wukong aren't going to necessarily be peeling. They're just going to be backline diving, that he wants to get some more protection so that he can at least survive these fights. So I think this was a good call, actually. If you can't get any peel for yourself, you might as well help yourself survive longer so that your backline can kill their backline a lot faster. So I like the thought process. I actually like the thought process. Unfortunately, it does mean that Ram is going to be putting out an insane amount more of damage. As we do see, Rama did opt off for that silver branch, and with all the attack speed he has in his build, especially with his steroid, he's going to be getting that passive insanely, making use of that passive as well.
Okay, and one more question. An interesting choice of items is Cthulhu has opted to go for Divine Ruin.
Divine Ruin probably trying to target the healing that comes from Isis's ult. As we do know that healing circle, it does damage, but it also heals you for some reason. Let's hold that thought. Fear no evil gets used, but to no avail. Everybody's still alive. Rama does go up in the air trying to get the snipes off. 1, 2. Snipes aren't connecting, and hold that thought. As I thought Rama was in the air, but no, he's right back down. A little bit of aggression on the mid-tier Phoenix, but Fire Giant is up. They have a full fire wave trying to go into Netherlands base. I would really like to see them back and set up for this Fire Giant instead of trying to be aggressive. But during that time, as we do look at the player damage, on Merlin being the top of the board, 23,000 damage, only second to his Hunbat's counterpart jungler at 22,000 damage. Bottom of the charts, although Isis got off to a very good start, 12,000 damage on an Isis. It's not really what you want to see, as finally we see Fuenla setting up for this Fire Giant. Doesn't look like Netherlands wants to contest it at all, as they're setting up just for a Phoenix defense. Their Phoenix is going to be up, so this was the best choice. Although at the same time, because they've been losing these recent fights and they do have a 10k gold deficit, the better choice was to just secure and make sure that our Phoenix does come back online so that we can get ready for a defense. I don't know how Netherlands is going to be able to stop the onslaught that is Hunbats, Cthulhu, and Sun Wukong. They do have an Achilles and a Ganesh. A Ganesh who opts to go for Shogun's Kazary to give attack speed to his Rama and Erlong as well.
Shogun's Kazary is actually one of my favorite items in general.
It is really good. It is really good. But I feel like if you're getting picked off already and you're getting an insane amount of magical damage dumped into you, then it's just not enough.
Yeah, definitely.
And as we do see, the Isis as well opted in to go get Mantle of Discord.
Yeah,
which is gonna really
Mantle of Discords this game are being like, you know, they're all the rage this game, you know what I mean?
Mantle of Discord is an expensive item, but at the same time gives you a lot of procs, gives you cooldown. Not only that, it gives you an insane passive that when you go down to 30 HP, you stun everybody in a radius of at least 30. Pretty sure it's a radius of 30. As we do see a lot of aggression, Cthulhu is all the way in. Cupid, although he bought this mantle, still went down the count. Cthulhu by himself, surrounded by Netherlands. Netherlands still opting in to get the Fury, but Cthulhu does lose his life. We see some more aggression. Merlin by himself, but Wukong comes in, trying to get some damage done. Erlong trying his best to take down the Merlin, but to no avail, as Mid Phoenix will probably be the point of contention, as Achilles is going to try to stop this Wukong. Tiger stancing him in place. Very, very naughty of you. Don't Tiger stance me, that's not fun. As Wukong will just charge in to Netherlands' base with a full wave of fire creeps. Fear no evil, the Achilles off, and Fuenla will end up winning the game by just walking in with one wave of creeps, not even needing their Merlin to assist in any way, shape, or form. Fuenla takes game 2 and wins the set.
Definitely, I think that actually victory was well deserved. It's a really confusing choice to, you know, commit to that part, but it worked out in the end.
It worked out because, I mean, it is Hunbats and Fear No Evil so powerful. A constant CC pushing enemies away from you, which is really what you want when you're trying to target out one specific objective or god in general. Unfortunately, during that map, Rama getting a decent start. Also, Isis getting a huge start, was 3-0 at some point. Unfortunately, started getting targeted out because she is an Isis at the end of the day. Can't really run away or dash out from this Cthulhu, Hunbats, and Sun Wukong. Cupid at the end of the game did kind of drop off. Rama did get ahead of him, all not only in damage but also in the 1v1s that they had in lane. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough as we needed Rama to do a little more. As we look at the player damage, Merlin topping the charts with 27,000 damage. Behind him, Hun Bats with 23,000 damage. As we look on Netherlands side, Achilles, top damage, your solo laner with 22,000 damage. But Rama does finally beat him with 23,000. Erlon with 16,000, that's just not enough. Cthulhu basically almost outdamaged their jungler. That's not what you want to see.
Cthulhu is just a god that does that, you know what I mean?
Of course. Unfortunately, I really feel that Netherlands were negatively impacted from the first loss as they completely threw that game out of the window. I would
Especially
love to
that
see
first
them
game.
the
That
first
first
game.
game. Netherlands definitely threw that
Dark
game.
Horse. I really want to know who made that call. Who made the call? Hey man,
Good
listen.
question. Good question.
But anyway, again, GG's to Fuenla. Okay, good job to Isotos, Ruloto, Falcono, Mojo Wumpa, and P4B Luque. Okay, this has been Vulpis World Cup Summer League with your boy Shawny and my boy Kazary casting for you
Hey.
today. Can't wait to see you next time. Remember, have a Vulpistastic day. And we'll catch you on the Smite Battleground.
Toodaloo, guys.